All right, guys. Devil's Details number 18. We are getting close. Okay, so the name for this rule, Devil's Details 18, is Dancing with the Devil. And I came up with this rule before Devil's Details existed. When I was just making these rules for myself, for my own edification, I named this rule, and now we have Devil's Details. So it may look like I have an unhealthy obsession with the devil, and I am a preacher's kid, so who knows, maybe I'm hiding it from myself. I don't think I do, but at any rate, that the naming there may seem redundant, but I would say it is coincidental. Dancing with the devil, what am I referring to here? I use this rule to emphasize different intensity tools I use to bring out intensity in you guys in the workouts. If you've been listening to me at all for any time, you've heard me bring up intensity a lot. I will continue to do so in the future. There's no single factor in what we do that is more important than intensity. There are other factors I would maybe say are equally important, but nothing is more important than intensity. And so I want to make sure I don't miss opportunities to bring out that intensity in us. And this rule helps me keep that on the front of my brain as I'm fine-tuning the workouts, looking for spots I can make little adjustments to bring that out a little bit more. There are a lot of quotes from Glassman, from other people in the CrossFit world, other programmers, a lot of good quotes about intensity because we're all on the same page that this is something crucial. One of them that I like is let me get this right. Successful people pursue hard things. Unsuccessful people avoid them. And this goes, I think, much beyond even intensity in a workout. Guys, when I find people that avoid suffering, and when I mean suffering, I mean challenging yourself, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations where you experience discomfort. And this may be physical, emotional, mental, whatever the case may be. When I find people that avoid that at all costs, I also find them in general to be miserable people, to be angry people, to not be very satisfied people. When I see people that seek out challenges, seek out suffering, and again, I'm not burning myself, but seek out hard things and challenges in life. And again, that can be mental, emotional, physical. That can be improving my relationship with my wife, figuring out how I am failing as a father, whatever the case may be. But when you seek out those hard things, those are the people I see that are the most satisfied and therefore also the more happy, content people in life. And I want to say that I think happiness is not an end goal. This is Dan getting into his philosophy on life, but it is a byproduct. You should not be thinking about, in my opinion, how do I find happiness? You should be looking for, how do I pursue meaning and purpose in life? How do I build a life that is giving me things I do that I think matter, that I believe matter to me and to the world at large or to the people I love? And when you pursue those things, the beautiful byproduct of that is that you're happy, rather than pursuing happiness as an end goal. I think when people think we want a utopia, they don't understand human nature. We don't want a utopia. We would be bored and ruin it within an afternoon. We want challenges. We want to strive. We want to battle and be in the mix. And by accomplishing things, that gives us the contentment and happiness and meaning that I think we're looking for, not just hanging out in this utopian vacation for our whole life. Anyways, I digressed. If intensity is so effective, and let me just say this, why does not everybody do it? Because it is uncomfortable. Another good quote on this: performance is directly correlated to intensity, and intensity is directly correlated to discomfort. What you guys do, when I see people come in the gym, and you guys all, I like it when you're working out and your spouse is a member doing CrossFit, your significant other, your kids, your extended family, your friendship group, because it builds more longevity and more consistency. But beyond that, you guys know I don't do any marketing, really. My marketing is taking care of my members and having them be happy with what's going on at the gym and telling their friends about it. That's how we grow. But having said that, I see a lot of people come in, and frankly, I'm quickly able to tell, oh, they're not as tough as their friend. And I use that word because that's frankly my opinion on the matter, is not everybody is willing to go into that discomfort zone. And when I see people that join and they're willing to give it a shot, and then there's that first unavoidable, really hard workout. There are those that they're uncomfortable, they're like, whoa, and they keep coming back for more. And then there's the ones that I can tell they're like, that kind of sucked. And they drift off eventually. And I'm like, yep, not as tough as this person over here. So it's never going to be for everybody. As we get older too, guys, as we get older, what is one of the things we don't handle as well? Is it intensity? And by intensity, I mean either high heart rate or heavy weight. Again, heavy being relative to you. Or is it volume? Volume being length of time and or number of reps. We don't handle the volume as well as we get older. We still need to do it. It's crucial we do it, but we don't snap back from that as often. Intensity is something we can still go intensely even as we get older. And in fact, we have to. Because if you don't keep flooring it as you get older, you will quickly lose the ability, and it will be very hard, if not impossible, to get back. And I'm going to talk about in the next week's addendum on this because I want to unpack that more. But this is something we have to do routinely and consistently and not take break from as we get older, or it's a skill we will maybe never get back if we take time off from it as we get older. All right, so what are some of the tools I use to bring out intensity in you guys? One would be descending reps. What do I mean by that? Fran is 21, 15, 9 of 2 different movements. And you guys see me use that rep scheme all the time because I love it. You do 21 of each, 15 of each, 9 of each. So as you're getting more tired, the rep range is getting smaller. And from a mental standpoint, I think you guys understand this. That's easier to break off and keep going fast as it's getting smaller. You guys know the reverse of that. If I go up 9, 15, 21, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And those are good to do too, because that's much more of a mental challenge to do those bigger sets. And that's something we should work as well. But if I'm speaking about intensity, going down in reps, which is why I think there's so many workouts out there, named workouts that use 21, 15, 9 or 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 or 30, 20, 10, whatever the case may be. Because those workouts were programmed to try and bring out the intensity in you, and those descending reps do that. So that's one of the ways to do it. Cash outs. And you guys know I've talked about cash outs before. I talked about maybe this in the last episode. I forget when I was talking about this, but oh yeah, it was the last episode. When you're most tired, can you push it? When you're beat down, can you floor it at the very end of the workout and bring out that little bit of intensity again? And a cash out is a good way, a good opportunity to do that. And I may use double unders, burpees, box jumps, thrusters, whatever the case may be, but usually it has to be correctly complemented to what the workout is. So it's not so much, if I want to bring out intensity, it's not going to be stamina or muscular failure that causes you to fail. It's going to be, can I push into the discomfort zone a little bit harder right at the end of the workout? So I like cash outs to do that. And they're a good way, going back to my whole mentioning of volume a couple minutes ago, without adding too much volume to a workout, I can help you to floor it and push that intense button a little bit more. And as you guys know from yesterday's workout, which was a beautiful workout, by the way, 30 power cleans, 30 toes to bar, 30 thrusters. Thrusters are always a terrible and wonderful way to end a workout, because yesterday you could do it, but it's when you get into that set of thrusters and it's only 30 and you've only got 15 to go, and now your heart rate is officially gone to the moon because you're in the thrusters. Are you going to sit down and wait for a minute and let your heart rate go down? Or are you going to pick up the bar, get another set of 5, and tell yourself, I'm going to do that again and again, and I'm going to finish this off and push through that pain intensity zone at the end of the workout? And that was why yesterday, to me, was one of those workouts that made me nervous, because that's what I knew I was going to need to do, and I knew it was going to hurt to do it. It also is incredibly satisfying when you do that. So good job to everybody who did that yesterday. And the last rule I'll have, so I'll allude to this for down the road, it was a very simple designed workout. 30 of 3 different movement. It almost looks too simplistic on paper, and yet there was so much going on in that workout. Beauty in CrossFit workouts is in the simple but effective combinations of the right number of reps, the right movements, the right sequence with the right weight. It doesn't look complicated, but it is incredibly effective. And I think Adrian Bosman designed that one, and he knocked it out of the park. I really liked yesterday's workout. Another way to do this, as you guys know, I've mentioned this before, partner workouts. Both you go, I go, and synchronized workouts. When you're working out on your own, by nature, you don't feel as bad if you take a little longer break. Hey, everybody can pass me by. I'm cool right now, just chilling and doing what I'm doing. When somebody else's workout is directly affected, by how hard you work right now. It is human nature that most of us will work a little bit harder. And I love that. Now it depends on the combination of people. If I combine with Coach John, it's probably frankly going to be a little bit easier for him, and I'm going to get run into the ground. But it's nice when, because of the movements and the people and what's going on, it's a fairly even combination. I think of back years ago, 2015, 2016, when Jason and I were doing duality together. I think at that time we were very evenly matched on ability. And it was a lot of fun because I could push to the limit, he could push to the limit, and it was having that combination there, it can be really fun. We're doing that on Saturday. The next partner workout coming up is this coming Saturday. And it's both. I like when I can have both synchronized movements and you go, I go, because I get to bring out both aspects. There's deadlifts, you go, I go, sit-ups that are synchronized, dumbbell work that you go, I go. And I'm excited to see how that plays out on Saturday. The next one would be intervals. And again, going back to my point on volume, intervals are a great way to go into the pain zone and then come back out and rest and go into it again and come back out and rest and go into it again. EMOMs can also do this a little bit. EMOMs can be like short intervals. Tomorrow's EMOM, before we do the push press, is a way that tomorrow's EMOM for some people is going to be really hard. For others, it'll still be a good workout, but won't be as hard. It kind of depends on what your strength set is. But intervals are a great way to limit the volume, but still get multiple goes, multiple efforts into the intensity zone. And then the last one I'll mention for right now is very small rep ranges, doing 2 to 3 movements with like 3 reps of each, 5 reps of each, 7 reps of each, something like that. A workout I think of two that I think of. Fran is 21-15-9, thrusters and pull-ups. You do 45 reps of each. Within the next month, we're doing what I call Fran by 5s, which is 5 thrusters and 5 pull-ups, but you do that 9 times. So it's exactly the same number of reps as Fran. But this one's lets you move faster. It facilitates that moving fast, I think, a little bit better. Now, I frankly am more afraid of Fran because Fran still wants you to move fast, and you can. There's a little bit more of a stamina aspect as you get into that round of 15. With 5s, it's just light your hair on fire and get done with this as quick as I can. And I find that is a fun way that mentally people can wrap their brains around. I'm going to go fast with this. I think another workout that does that is the Chief, a hero WOD. We're going to do this in either August or September. The Chief is 3 minutes of 3 power cleans, 6 push-ups, 9 air squats. You go for 3 minutes, you get 1 minute off, you go for 3 minutes, and you do that 5 times. So each one is a little 3-minute AMRAP. That workout is always a crowd pleaser. People like it, and I will see people on that workout as a group of us. A lot of people will push hard on that because of the short rep ranges and the interval work. It kind of combines 2 very effective intensity tools. So those are things as I've got all the workouts out there in Wodify, and I'm looking for ways to fine tune these workouts. I figure out, hey, can I throw a cash out on this one? Can I make these reps a little bit smaller and bring it out? Am I doing somewhere in here descending reps? Am I doing a descending rep one? And you guys know there's a lot of 21-15-9 workouts because I just think it's an effective combination for combining a couple movements. All right, guys, that's it. Next week, I'm going to have another addendum specifically talking about, as you guys know, we've been doing this active recovery. The last couple days, I've had some questions on it, and this is not something I just did spontaneously. I've been trying to figure out an effective way to format this to do in class, and I think there's going to be a lot of benefits from it if we do this consistently over time. So this is something we're going to do regularly. And I want to unpack why, so you guys understand the purpose behind it. As well, I think I've heard a lot more in the CrossFit space about the importance for CrossFitters to do Zone 2 training. I don't think they're wrong, but I think a lot of the understanding about Zone 2 training is wrong. And I want to talk about how it is correctly applied to CrossFitters to help us with our recovery and improve our performance down the road. All right, I've gone long enough. I will see you guys this week. Talk to you later. Right on.